Good afternoon from Dumfries High School in southwest Scotland, and here we're watching one of the round the games of the Cooperative Funeral Care Scottish Curling Women's Championship. The game that we're watching this afternoon is Hannah Fleming versus Lorna Weavers. We're watching this on sheet C. This morning we watched Hannah Fleming play, but she was playing on sheet D at that time. It just so happens that sheet C is the most favourable one for us from cameras, and it wasn't being played on this morning. Just in case anybody out there is questioning why the Fleming team is being played twice or being watched twice on the same day. So anyway, we've done the warm-up, and we've had the draw shot for who has the hammer, and this is the first end that we're watching here. Fleming and Yellis stones, and Weavers playing the blue stones, with Weavers having the hammer this first end. We've got David Owen here. David is not only commentating, but he's making sure that everything goes out on the live stream.
That's a good way of saying it's my fault if anything goes wrong, John. Thank you for that.
It's okay, no problems at all.
I'll try not to shut the whole programme down mid-broadcast this time.
Okay, no problems at all.
I'll try not to shut the whole programme down mid-broadcast this time. So you feeling refreshed for the second game today?
Ah, well, we'll see how the game goes. I had a nice lunch and read the paper and had a nice time while the wife's at home doing the ironing, housework, and keeping things running.
It's a good excuse to get out of the house, in other words, is that? We've been abandoned by other commentators. Graham Sloan's away up with World Juniors up to Balchaffrey at Greenacres, I think we established before. And Richard Smith is currently at the Queen of the South game. So Richard's been left to it. So hopefully we'll get a good game this afternoon. Two local teams, both play out of Lockerbie Ice Rink.
Also playing this afternoon on sheet E is Barr versus Aitken, and on sheet F we've got Martin versus Marshall. Do you happen to have the standings available where we're sitting? David, to have the standings available where we're
Yes.
sitting? David, to have the standings available?
Just put them up very briefly there. So both Fleming and Weavers lost their last game, so they're both looking to bounce back, which hopefully will give us a nice attacking game. That'll be the hope anyway. We were wrong, John. Look who's just walked in behind you. Wrong, John.
Oh, Mr. Sloan.
Just walked in behind you. Good afternoon.
Oh, Mr. Sloan. Rather quiet. Good afternoon. That
Very
wasn't
quiet,
it?
yeah.
We've had complaints about the volume this morning. Good afternoon.
Very quiet,
Speak
yeah.
up. We've had complaints about the volume.
If I speak less, I don't need to stay long.
Nah, it doesn't work like that, I'm afraid.
How did we get on this morning?
Speak less, I don't need to stay long.
Nah, it doesn't
2
work
losses,
like that, I'm
but
afraid.
they're just really up there for experience. So it's good to losses, but
Good. Good. For the information of anybody that's not heard the game yesterday and today, this is the first section of this competition. There's another section being played in February at the Youth Centre in Perth. The game is being timed, so each team has 73 minutes of playing time. We've got somebody's timing the teams on each rink, and we've got television screens there, and each team's remaining time is displayed, and they've got to keep within that. If they go out with it, game over, and they lose. Understand this morning, David, that it was kind of close for one of the teams.
Yeah, we were saying during commentary that we were glancing up at the TVs. We've since been told there was 3 seconds left on Hannah Fleming's time clock. I assume that was after the stone came to rest, to be fair. So it probably means that we had a spare 20 seconds or so. So yeah, a wee bit tight or played to perfection, one of the two. But I think they were always in control of it. So yeah, a wee bit tight or played to perfection, one of the two. But I think they were always in control of it.
So who's the money on between these two teams?
Money?
Who do you fancy to win?
We haven't really had a chance to watch Lorna Weaver's team play apart from the extra end, which they didn't play too badly at all, to be fair.
Fancy.
Hannah was pretty unlucky this morning, so I'm just going to sit on the fence, to be perfectly honest. It should just be a really tight game. And we spoke this morning about how quickly does a team go aggressive, how much do they just look to control the game. They're both sitting on 1 win, 1 loss, so do both teams go aggressive? Does one start out, or do they both try and contain the game for a wee while? So the long and short, I'm just not giving you an answer to that, I'm afraid, John. Where's your money?
Could be on Weavers, but again, I think that Hannah just lost it a couple of times. She just drew up short. Could be on, if she just had another Weaver, but again, and a couple of stones in that. So maybe she's overcome that, and aye. I mean, as you say, they're both evenly matched. So ask me in about 5 ends time,
So we need predictions at N6. Right, okay.
Okay.
5th end break, we'll give a prediction. How's that?
Well, there's Hannah looking to draw up against there and being just a wee bit short again. They're both evenly matched. So ask me in about 5 ends time.
So we need predictions at N6. Right, okay.
Weaver's just putting the brush down there to see how much they can see of that stone. Looking to draw up against there and being just so they're looking to take it out, wick it out and lie across to the left hand side as we view it. Weaver's just putting the brush down there to see how much they can see of that stone. So looking to take it out. Deep guard there, wick it out, which was placed there by the Weavers team, who've got the hammer. Did that deep guard kind of go with your way of thinking, or not? There, which was placed there by
John, I've
the Weavers team.
Lost there the yellow that came in there.
Well, no, Weavers has got the hammer, yet they've put a big long guard out there.
I'm not sure it was called to be quite as short as it is, or maybe it's close to the centre line. Lost there the yellow that came in there.
Well, no, Weavers has got the hammer, yet they've put a big long guard out there.
I'm not sure it was called to be quite as short as it is, or maybe it's close to the centre line. A wee bit disappointed, and that gives Hannah a chance to take the blue out, roll in behind the guard, possibly take the blue at the back out as well with it.
Maybe take both of them. She'll certainly be thinking that's a percentage chance.
A wee bit disappointed, and that gives Hannah
seemed to be quite a bit of draw in that shot, the last shot played for the weight.
I think we saw the first game this morning was a wee bit more draw than last night. And that progression seems to have carried on. I remember both teams, we just showed it at the start of the live broadcast here. Both teams have a practice session, so dare I say, no excuses when it comes to the first end. The first game this morning was a wee bit more draw than last night. And that progression seems to have carried on. That said, Lorna Weavers' team were the first practice session. Hannah had the second practice there, so in theory the ice could well change between the practice and the time Hannah stepped on the ice there. That said, Lorna Weavers' team were the first practice session. Hannah had the second practice there, so in theory the ice could well change between the practice and the time Hannah stepped on the ice there. That said, Lorna Weavers' team were the first practice session. Hannah had the second practice there, so in theory the ice could well change between the practice and the time Hannah stepped Who's your money on here for the major, John? It's one yellow
Blue.
already.
Blue.
So you just think one yellow then?
I think one yellow. And the only reason I'm saying that is that because of the camera angles, sometimes the shots that you're looking straight onto are actually a wee bit further either forward or back than what you think they are, you know.
Yeah, it's not the easiest sitting up here, I have to say.
No. So one of our official umpires comes in, and as per the training, he puts the measure down. First of all, the leg goes down outside the ring, and then the point goes into the centre. And the reason for that, if you put the point in first, you've got an opportunity to damage the hole. So
Right
there,
enough, John.
blue, and the umpire puts it all away. Job done. So the time clock is stopped during the time that there's a measure, and as soon as it's they're away and they're ready to go, time clock starts again. So, one to Hannah Fleming, and we have Abby Brown going to play. Abby's been curling for some 11 years now. Won a number of, or been involved in the teams that's won a number of championships, or been runners up. You can see the two skips there, they know each other well, get on well with each other, and have a wee bit banter at times.
Yeah, as I say, both Lockerbie players, so you're right enough, they will know each other, or played against each other a fair bit as well.
So, Lorna electing to have a corner guard there, perhaps a wee bit further up than what she would maybe have looked for. And Hannah having the centre, just electing for a centre guard. Sometimes trying to work out what the hand signals mean from the skips. Although the picture's maybe just a wee bit unclear, it gives you an idea of just how the stones are positioned. And Lorna having last stone advantage, electing just to lie up against that centre yellow. The sweepers are on the stone. And again we get the hand coming out from the skip. I wonder what that actually means. Does it mean it's wide? Or
I mean a multitude of things, that one, I think.
Or is it
We
just
generally
keep
say
going?
high of line, a multitude.
I mean, I know that when I play my shot, the skip always puts his hand out well to the left or well to the right.
That means well done.
The skip always
Good
puts-
shot.
I actually thought that it meant you'd played wide.
That means well done. Good shot.
I actually thought that it meant you'd played
It's
wide.
one of the best things, isn't it? When you play a shot and your skip shouts down. That was a good weight though. It's the best backhanded compliment in curling, that one.
It's when they say fine as they're walking away with their back to you.
That's fine. Yep.
It's when they say fine as they're walking away with their back to you.
That's fine. Yep.
Anyway, Hannah getting that cleared away. We'll be pleased at that. We've seen a number of stones today and last night. Unfortunately for the skips, they got jams that went against them. This is a clear of the the two guards, is it?
Yeah, I think so. They're not sitting particularly nicely to do much with. So.
The two guards, is it?
Yeah, I think so. They're not
Certainly the weight for to get rid of them.
To get rid of them, maybe get a chance of a two, but I think probably looking to ensure that they get at least a black. Maybe get a chance to do it straight. No, played it well to ensure that both guards disappear. Shooter rolls to the side with the corner guard. So
that would be Rebecca Kesley, I think. Their second. So that would be Rebecca Kesley, I think. Their second. In fact, I should call her Becca. 21-year-old, been curling for 14 years. And got a gold in the 2009 European Youth Olympics. 14 years. And got a gold in the 2009 European Youth Olympics.
this guard just over swinging a little touch.
Opportunity here for Lorna. Opportunity here for Lorna. She'll be reasonably pleased with that. I mean, it was a second option that she gave when she was indicating with her breath.
Yeah, exactly.
It was
It's like the second option on shots. It's always good to have it in the back pocket.
Indicating with her breath.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the second option on shots. It's always good to have it in the back. On this one, a wee bit worried about it. Looks okay though. A chance to get either way again, choosing to go back to the centre line.
So quite a bit of cover on the left-hand side of the sheet. Lorna hoping to catch the stone and on the left-hand side, maybe even come out to the. Should be quite happy. Anything inside the 8 foot there.
Yeah, I think so. I think
come out
it's
swinging.
they don't want to go to the right, just leaves Hannah a draw to that centre line, so trying to beat them in there.
Swinging.
It's just, it is good, right? So not a disaster. It's a hack that's taken out by the stone.
Have to play a good weight here, because otherwise it's right away out there. If they're just a wee bit narrow, it could just swing past. Have to play a good weight here, because otherwise it's right away out there. If they're just a wee bit narrow, it could just swing past. They're working hard. She's a bit desperate about this.
Yeah, it's okay though. They were just trying to keep it to get a roll.
They're working hard. She's a bit desperate about this.
It's okay though. They were just trying to keep it to get a roll.
They're working hard.
See this end again being played pretty quickly. Still hanging about.
So the third here of Lorna Beaver's team, Sarah Reid. So the third here of Lorna Beaver's team. What a pressure on her with this shot. What a pressure on her with this shot.
Good solid nose hit though. Thing is that the only downside to that is that stone's getting nice and high in the house now, so it's easier to roll further and still keep in the top of the tee line.
The only thing is we haven't actually seen many stones really rolling off. You know, they've been just hitting them and they're stopping. The only thing is we haven't actually seen many stones really rolling off.
No. Again, probably comes back to safety. It is, it is early in the game, so I don't want to play any silly shots and miss the stone completely on the inside. So first priority is get rid of the stone. Don't play any silly shots and miss the stone completely on the inside. So first priority is get rid of the stone.
Sweepers are on it. Are they getting agitated? Sweepers are on it.
Yeah, a little bit. Looks good though.
Come on, sweep it. Are they getting agitated?
If it gets right across there, yeah, a little bit. Maybe got overly agitated on that one.
Come on, sweep it. Of course, you just don't know how much it'll swing in that last metre, and instead of of course, you just don't know how much like what you want. You're just getting it too thin,
And the way it rolls.
and it's going. Pressure shot here for Lorna. Playing, she's got that guard out the front there. Pressure shot here for Lorna. Playing, she's got that guard out the front. Taking a reasonable amount of ice, and obviously, for those that don't know, just touching her shoe to show she's looking for a hack weight stone. Something that would just run you to the hack weight. The hack.
For me, that's one of the biggest differences with the top teams. When they call hack weight, it's not just a random weight; it is absolutely it's a precise hack weight.
Whereas for a lot of people, hack weight means it has to go past the hack.
Exactly. And I think the other aspect to that is when you come to play on quicker ice, that when they're playing a hack weight and a barrier weight, all the weights come down to max ice speed. I think your average, certainly I'm bad for it. Play what is your normal barrier weight, and all of a sudden you're playing a hit rate to a shot that Skip thinks is going to draw more than it then does, and so they really are tuned into the weight, these guys.
I sometimes use the terms light barrier and heavy barrier, so that people know that I just want it to touch the barrier as opposed to bounce off the barrier.
Take the barrier
Light barrier and heavy barrier.
The infamous car park weight.
I just want it to touch the barrier. So Fleming playing her second shot. They're getting agitated. Concern about this. A big concern. She's getting agitated. Concern about this. Aye. But not much spear.
Is there a split? Is there a split?
Agitated. Concern about this. Aye. But not much spear.
That's the problem with rolling out there.
I think that's what they're concerned with.
Yeah.
I think that they were. Aye. But not much spear.
That's the problem with rolling out there.
That's what they're concerned.
Yeah.
So Lorna hoping to come out on the out hand here, come up there, and just catch that blue stone there half, move it about maybe a foot, even if it's just touching the line, and her own stone curling in, and again it being into the house. Move it, then she would gain 2 shots.
Quite a tricky split this one, I would. Just again from our angle, which isn't the best. It looks like you're going to have to hit that blue quite straight. Quite a tricky split this one. Just again from our angle, which isn't the best. Sweeper's right off it. Needs to swing. That blue quite straight. I think it's just the one. Sweeper's right off it. Needs to swing. Yeah, just the one. Played it. Looked a nice weight as well.
And I'm sure that it would have prepared actually that it went out as opposed to stayed in.
Yeah, just by the look of kind of half sweeping it there,
And
I
I'm
think
sure
that's,
that
I think that's a
prepared
fair
actually
comment.
that it went out.
That this is where probably differ, and I just think the argument would be I've probably played too much club curling now, but it's always nice to get on the scoreboard, isn't it?
It is.
Probably differ, and I just think the argument would be I've probably played too much club curling. So that makes it 1-1 after 2 ends.
It is. The other scores that's there I can tell you about is that Bar versus Aitken. Bar is 2 shots up in the first, and I can't see the score for Martin versus Marshall.
Player standing in your way again, John.
Yes, it's 3 for Martin in the first.
You've certainly started the competition very well.
It's 3 for Martin in the first.
I thought the win last night was actually very good because at one point they looked like they'd lost complete control of that game, and they just stuck in nicely and came up with the result. The win last night was actually very good because at one point they looked like they'd lost complete control of that game, and they just stuck in nicely and came up with the result.
So, Weaver's putting a centre guard on. So, Fleming looking to draw around it. Centre guard on. Fleming looking to draw around it. Sweeper's not near it. Looks as if it's going to just keep going.
It does look a wee bit heavy.
Sweeper's not
It's
near
in the
it.
back, I think.
Looks as if it's going to.
It's just drifted on.
A bad mistake. A bad mistake.
It just gives Beavers that wee bit more control over the start of this end.
A bad mistake. A bad mistake.
Just while this end gets going, just a quick reminder that all the games are on live, but we've also got the facility to re-watch games. So if you miss any or just want to watch them back or have a look later on, you can do that. That's on our YouTube channel, so it's youtube.com/Dumfries Curling, all one word. If you do that and enjoy the games, it'd be really good if you press the subscribe button, which will hopefully let us stream live with less adverts than you may currently be watching, which is always a good thing. Unfortunately, it is, you do get what you pay for, I'm afraid. And we ain't paying very much for it, so. Big roar there, John. A big roar there. I don't think it was for the curling either.
Oh well, now the Queens has scored.
Somebody scored. Big roar there, John. Big roar there. I don't think it was for the curling.
The Sweepers ran into it.
For those that don't know, it's a bit of a feature of Dumfries Ice Bowl that out one of the viewing
Sweepers ran into
lounge
it.
windows you can see the 6-yard box of one end of Palmerston. So you get a bit of live football with your curling as well.
So here we are, we've got a centre guard there, and both of the skips will be looking to try and utilise that by hitting and rolling behind it. So here we are, we've got a centre guard there, and both of the skips will be looking to try and utilise that by hitting and rolling behind it. In some ways it's first one blinks. This is a gay loose shot. In some ways it's first one not very good. Could be an expensive mistake there for Lorna. You would smile between Hannah and Lorna there. Not sure what that was, but you would smile between Hannah and Lorna there.
Yeah, the players aren't mic'd up for this. We do have the facility to mic players up, but one, it takes a wee bit of extra manpower, which is quite a challenge at weekends, and secondly, we just didn't think it was particularly fair on some players because they really, with the final being a double header over 2 weekends, some might have had to deal with it more than others, so we want to make sure the competition's fair.
A fantastic shot from Abbey there. Well judged by the skip and the sweepers. Just millimetres between it and that front guard, and drew nicely onto the button.
I think they'll be a wee bit disappointed that it slipped back to you because Lorna can now play the hit and roll off that outside one. The backup option, it's a double, so it's although it's another yellow in there and it is behind the guards, it's actually maybe swung the advantage to Weavers a little bit.
You're probably right, especially when we saw that they played that last shot there and it missed, and it actually just more or less went just more or less over the centre line.
And out again, so maybe a wee bit wider line.
Just more or less over the centre line.
And out again, so this is struggling. Wider line. A wee bit of a bad miss, that one. It was a good opportunity to get an end belt up there. A wee bit of a bad miss, that one. It was a good opportunity to get. Now Fleming Rink has a good chance to do likewise, get one same kind of shot as their last one, right down on top of it, but make sure it's front D this time. Now Fleming Rink has a good chance to do likewise.
At the end of the day, no matter how much you train and how much you practice, there's still occasions when you're going to either come out the heart badly, or you're going to just give it a wee tweak, or just pull something and the stone's not going to go where you want it to.
I don't think this stone's the case, so this looks pretty nice. In past the guard, a good way, let the sweepers work on it, take it right down in. I don't think this stone's the case, so might have liked it to finish another half stone, but pretty good there. I don't think the double's there. Maybe, I'm calling it. Another half stone, but pretty good there.
When you look out the window, I think there's maybe more room between the blue and the yellow than what we are actually seeing.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
Blue and the yellow than what we are actually seeing.
Nice to look out the window. Yeah, it's a fair point.
We don't actually allow David to look out a window.
Nah, well played. Nice to look out the window. And the shooters hanging about as well.
We don't actually allow David to look out a window.
Nah, well played.
Well judged by the whole team.
Shooters hanging about as well.
And you can see that the ice is quite keen, because that just tickled that stone that it managed to move it the 8 foot and take it out. Quite keen, because that just tickled that stone that it managed to move it the 8 foot and take it out. So will Lorna take that one out, and she's not going to take any risks. Very easy to lose a 2 here. Take that one out, and she's not going to take any risks. Very easy.
Yeah, she's not got last stone, so. Keep it simple. You don't still like to hang around with this one, no? You don't still like to hang around with this one, no?
So we're back to trying to use this guard again. And it'll be interesting to see whether after this that Vivers elects to actually leave that sitting there. She should really, but it depends on where the stone goes. She should really, but depends on where the stone goes.
Maybe a fraction wider line. I don't know if that's the guard by a huge amount, no. There's the swing
I
there.
think it had a fair bit, and I think that you'll just see that the move to take that out. I think it had a fair bit, and I think that you'll just see that the move to take that out. I think it had a fair bit, and I think that you'll just see that the move to take that out. Aitken versus Barr, they're on their third end. Second end was blank. So, sorry, my apologies. I see they put another score up there. So they're on their fourth end, and the score is 2-1 for Barr. So, sorry, my apologies. I see they put another score up there. So they're on their fourth
This
end.
one looks a little wide, John.
She should catch it in awful, she.
Does don't think she has. She's going to hang around there.
Bad one for Weavers, good one for Fleming.
I think she has. She's going to hang around there.
Bad one for Weavers, good one for Fleming. So Hannah giving some assistance to Jennifer Dodds on where to put the brush. So Hannah giving some assistance. Skip always having that benefit of having seen every shot come up to put the brush, and just having that extra knowledge about where they want the brush placed, and just having that extra knowledge about where they want the brush placed, and just having that extra knowledge about where they want the brush placed. So both sweepers are just tickling the ice in front of it. Obviously the weights, okay, they're now into it. So both sweepers are just tickling the ice.
Just thinking it's just hanging that wee fraction wide.
So you need to get it as far back as possible.
It's just about done enough. The night, maybe not. There's indications that they might be able to get to the inside of it, which would be the worst case scenario for Hannah Fleming.
The balance is always between trying to get the stone to where you want it to go to, at the same time allowing it to slow down so that it'll take the draw. The balance is always between trying to get the stone to where you want it to, but it just seems that they're not drawing at the same time allowing much in it, slow down so that it'll take the draw.
Travel there, isn't it? Yeah, it doesn't look to be a great big finish on the stone.
It just seems that they're not drawing. You're not getting much in it, slow down.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't that wide of the guard.
You're not a wee weight on this.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, it looks as if it's catching the side of it.
It's got enough this time, though.
So, again, Fleming got the opportunity to draw for two. So, Fleming got the opportunity to draw. I think Lorna will be a wee bit disappointed with that last one. Possibly just a tad too heavy with that, and not drawn just at that last wee bit.
It's a really good chance for a two here.
Just
draw the 12 foot for the two.
And not drawn just at that last wee bit.
It's a really good chance for a two here. Draw the 12 foot for the two.
Not drawn just at that last wee bit.
Sweepers are on it. It looks fairly comfortable though. Making sure it's on the tee line.
Stone, quite a bit of run in there.
Bang at the tee line. Making sure played.
Stone, quite a bit of run in there. Good one for the team there as well. It's always nice for the skip when they actually draw that last shot. It's supposed to be the easiest shot in the game, but good one for the team there as well. It's always nice. It's so easy to overpower or underpower. It's supposed to be the easiest shot in the game, but so going into the fourth end, Fleming against Weavers, and Fleming being 3-1 up. So going into the fourth end, Fleming against Weavers, and Fleming being 3-1 up. So going into the fourth end, Fleming against Weavers, and Fleming being 3-1 up. In the Martin versus Marshall game in Sheet F, we've got a rather complicated head there. Number of shots, and in the Martin versus Marshall game in Sheet F, I don't know if they've actually put all the scores up because there's too many people in front of it. Number of shots, and
you just switch the cameras to that, John. Just have a quick.
Because there's too many people in front of it. Martin in the red.
Just switch the cameras to that, John. Just have a quick.
Marshall to play. I think that it could be that the red is actually the shot there, but it's difficult to say.
Yeah, I'd say red line one at the moment
But,
anyway.
It could be that the red is actually the shot there, but it's difficult to say.
I'd say red line one at the moment anyway. Looks like a good effort. I think he's still
Still red,
Still red, I
point to
think.
red,
good effort. I think he's still
red,
Still red, I
point to
think.
red, So black to the Hannah Fleming versus Lorna Weavers game.
just a quick advertisement for our World Championships that we've got here in April. We have the World Seniors, both men's and ladies, and the World Mixed Doubles. You can get the tickets are on sale. You can come in and watch that. It's just the season tickets that are on sale at the moment. Individual match tickets will go on sale in the new year once we actually have the draw for the games. But DumfriesCurling.co.uk is a place to go for that. Shortly there'll be links through to the event websites from there as well. So it should be quite a good event, John, I think. You looking forward to that?
Oh my, take some holidays and come along, watch the games, give a hand, volunteer as well. So
Looking forward to that?
it's something that's a one-off for us, whether or not we ever get it back again. Until time will tell, won't it?
Depends how good a job we make of this one. It's been really interesting being part of the organising committee, and it's been really good the number of volunteers we've got, the enthusiasm that's been shown for the event. I think it can only be a good thing for curling, and not only Dumfries but the region as well. I think there's knock-on benefits for surrounding ice rinks, Lockerbie in particular, but Stranraer, Hamilton, they're all close enough, and I think there's knock-on. Hopefully we can generate some new interest in curling as well. Add to your already large junior numbers with a bit of luck to generate some new interest in curling.
No, the junior numbers are good. It's we could also look to try to enhance our adult numbers. With the junior. There's a lot of coaching programs there, and wheelchair curling's try to enhance our adult numbers. Kind of peaks and then dips a wee bit. So, but adult coaching and that, we really need some more new members there as well. But we'll get them as well.
So if we've got somebody watching that happens to have stumbled across this on the reruns or watching it live and fancies a wee game of curling at Dumfries, what's the best way to get involved, John?
Well, we've got turn up and try games, so I mean just come along to the Ice Bowl, ask for one of the coaches, or you can go online to the Dumfries Curling website, see the turn up and try days. Just phone in. Quite a lot of them are free days, so it can be a half hour or an hour session. But if you and a group of people want to come and try it, we can arrange for you all to do that together. It's really just a question of making contact.
Can people do it as a kind of social night?
Yes, we've got corporate nights, but we'll also, we're coming up to Christmas and New Year. Do you want to have a Christmas party? Why don't you come along here, arrange for us to have some coaches, and we'll give you some tuition, 20 minutes and you'll be curling. And then we'll have a game, and then you can go out and enjoy your night, have a laugh. We'll give you some tuition, 20 minutes and you'll be curling.
You don't have to take the coaches with you on the night out, but they're always willing.
Go out and enjoy your night, have a laugh. Aye, I wouldn't turn down somebody's hospitality, So. But in saying that, in fairness, no, you don't need to take us along with you. So, but we'll give you a good night. In fairness, no, you don't need to take us along.
I've been involved in a couple of them sessions,
but we'll give you a good night.
I've not seen any session where virtually everybody hasn't enjoyed themselves. It's always good fun.
We've got a good food mark. People have a laugh, have a joke, and really at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Enjoying yourself. We've got a good food mark. People have a laugh,
Have a
Just
joke.
again, didn't quite get the
Really
finish. A wee roll across.
That's what it's all
Quite
about.
nice for
Enjoying yourself.
Fleming Rink there. But again, sitting quite nicely in this end.
Yeah, the only thing I'd like to point out to anybody that is listening, we're not going to have you at this level in 20 minutes, okay?
Again, sitting quite nicely in this end.
Yeah.
You need
The only
40
thing I'd
minutes.
like to point out to anybody that is listening, we're not going to have you
No, I
at
think
this
to be
level
fair,
in
you
20 minutes.
you look through some of these CVs that the players have kindly filled in for us, and the one thing that does stand out, you know, at the age of 21, curling for, it tends to be 15 years plus. A lot of hard work going in behind these guys, and not just the players, the coaches, the folk that have taken time out to help them get to this level as well.
Yes, there's a lot of hard work in it. However, here we've got looks as if a bit of a mistake there, I would say. Yes, there's a lot of hard work in it. However, here we've got looks as if a bit of a mistake there, I would say.
Yeah, it's just not really happening for the Beavers Rink at the moment.
However, here we've got no, and
It's just not really happening for the Beavers Rink at the moment.
and I was looking at that outside stone to see if it was even close to the rings. One of the problems you've got sometimes is that the rings don't actually match up exactly to the measuring stick, and although a stone may appear out, it may actually be in fact in when it's measured, so you've got to be very careful about what you're doing. That stone there could perhaps be the second or third stone for the opposition.
Yeah, I was out speaking to the umpire between games there, and they said the rings are actually fairly accurate, but the centre hole doesn't actually have a fitting in it. But certainly this weekend they're not too bad, but it's a fair point. It doesn't have to be too far wrong for that stone to be counting there. So it makes it quite tricky to call a game when you don't really know if the stone's in or out as well. It's just a case of making a decision and sticking with that principle all the way through. A bit wide again this one.
Just not drawn at that bit. We need to get it past.
Sweeping it to try and get it past, avoid a double. I think they're a bit wide again this one.
Just not
Just
drawn
about done
at
enough,
that
but
bit.
not
We need to
quite,
get
I
it
don't
past.
think. Sweeping it to try and get it past, avoid a double.
I think the problem will be not so much about the double, it's trying to get past the front guard tight enough that you're going to get into the split, you know, because we've seen a few shots there that are with a wee bit weight on that aren't really drawn that much, so the chances are that if it hits the yellow on the outside that it'll just take the left hand yellow. Chances are that, so are they getting a split? If it hits the yellow on the outside,
That's a pretty nice result.
Aye.
Quite like that. Just leave the blue sitting there. It gives Hannah a wee problem now. Do you just try and cover that and call the guard? It's just
Aye, she's really got to, hasn't she?
I think when we talk about aggressive, you're 3-1 up. Just try and cover that. You know, you're making Lorna Beavers play the shots at that point. You're not giving them anything easy. They've not started the game particularly well by their standards, so. Play the shots at that point. You're not giving them anything easy. They've not started the game particularly well by their standards, so.
So Jennifer Dodds playing her second shot. So Jennifer Dodds playing her second shot.
And this blue one on the corner of the rings may come into play in a moment.
Hit and roll.
It's quite a nice angle. I think Lorna will try and clear some guards first. But it may come into play at some point during the end, so keep an eye on that one.
So Lorna electing to try and clear the two yellow guards that's there. So Lorna electing to try and clear the two yellow guards that's there.
Again, this end suddenly turn around, particularly if these guards go.
Sarah Reid playing her shot.
Again, this end
Oh.
suddenly turn around, particularly if these guards go. I think that's worked out.
Sarah Reid playing her shot. It certainly worked out for Lorna.
Quite like just feathers that blue, which is enough to spin it over the top of the yellow and
Out
give
for
it momentum to
Lorna.
get out the house.
Perhaps what
I think they were going for the guards, in all honesty. But, it was always an option.
perhaps what
They were sweeping that stone all the way. I think they were going for the guards, in all honesty. I have to say, I did call that stone coming into play, but I didn't think it would come into play for Hannah.
right.
So option B for the commentator as well.
Right. The ups and downs of curling. There's always an element of chance, an element of luck, and the ups and downs of curling.
And an element of randomness.
Yes, an element of chance. If it comes off for you and it was unexpected, you apologise to the opposing skip, but you walk away saying, that was good, wasn't it?
I think generally these things do even themselves out.
It was unexpected, you apologise to the opposing skip, but
It's just which moment they happened in, isn't it?
that was good, wasn't it? Yes, aye.
I think generally you get a nice one in the ninth end of the game, then yeah.
Yes, aye. So Hannah playing her first shot. She's looking for a hit on this outside shot and a roll across to take that other one. So Hannah
off it and they're on it again.
First shot. She's
think
looking
it's
for a
over
hit.
swinging.
Looks square on this outside shot and a roll across to take that other one. In fact, it wasn't even square, as you say. It was swinging.
Yeah, it swung right from the start.
Looks square.
They did call no straight away, so maybe gives an inkling that one swung more than they thought it would, as opposed to played.
Maybe
tight
just an
brush.
over twist.
Potentially.
When you're just delivering it and just taking it that fraction away. Maybe just an over twist.
Yeah, potentially.
Just delivering it and
It
just
does give
taking it
Lorna a
that.
chance to swing another one round here, though.
Maybe just an over
It's going to be very.
delivering it.
Gives it another chance. Is this the last stone, John, or is this
No,
another two to come yet?
another two to come after this one. Weavers has
Another
got
chance.
the hammer this time.
So if Lorna can get this to the
No,
top four around that long guard,
Another two to come after this one. Weavers has got the hammer this time.
from an end they were struggling in maybe 6 stones ago. It starts to look all very good again. From an end they were struggling in maybe 6 stones ago. It starts to look all very good again.
So really what they want to be is tight round the furthermost shot. Quite far out there. So really what they want to be is need to get it back, I would have thought. But shot. It's going to go back itself. Quite far out there. So really what they want to be is need to get it back, I would have thought. But so you got to try and draw to the going to go back itself. Quite far out there. Hannah really needs to try and draw to the button. Get it back, I would have thought.
Yeah, I think
you
so.
got to try and draw to that's her shot. Hannah really needs to try and draw to the. She comes round the left hand side. The danger is that she'd have to be that tight. She'd maybe take off the or work the yellow guard and just. She comes round the left hand side. The danger is that she'd have to be that tight. She'd take off the. She really needs the first or second shot in yellow guard and just. She comes round the left hand side. Even if Weaver's got one, really needs the first or that would be okay for the Fleming rank because they'd still be 1 up. Even if Weaver's got one, that would be okay for the Fleming rank because they'd still be. Even if Weaver's got. We have seen Hannah come up a wee bit short with her weight. She's also seen Lorna Weavers just play a heavier shot through the house there. So come up a wee bit short with her weight. She's speaking to her two sweepers there, probably just discussing the weight and just getting it in her mind. That's what it's all about. Speak to each other, learn what it is about, just getting it in her mind. That's what it's all about. So the sweepers, they've got it, they're sweeping it early, learn what it is about. So the sweepers, they've got it. And it has to, is it catching that? No. And it has to, is it catching that? No. Just overswept it, I would say. Is it catching that? No. just overswept it, I would say. So Lorna's got a lot of space, just needs to draw it anywhere inside that 12-foot circle, and she's lined 2 shots, and then it's Peels. Her sweepers are on just about the same time, now they're off. This is travelling a wee bit slower than the last 2 we've seen. So maybe got to use that back yellow to stop it.
Yeah, it looks absolutely fine.
Yes. So, as we go into the 5th end, it's Peels with Fleming versus Weavers. Just to give you an update on Martin versus Marshall. They're playing the 4th end, and Martin is 4 shots up. I just finished the 5th end, kicking the stones away, but I'll give you that as soon as we can. And this is us going into the 5th end, when they have a, how many minutes break is it? 2 or 3 minutes?
I'm not
It's
sure,
that
to be
long.
honest. I think it might be 5, but
Is it 5?
I
It's
need
not
to
that long.
I need to
Aye.
double check with the timers.
So Martin is now, I don't know, they've not put the score up yet. But they must have won again, because Martin is leading their shots in. Getting back to Fleming and Weavers. Hannah looking to get a draw into the centre, round that guard.
It's a good stone.
We've not seen anything out of the normal from either of these 2 skips, have we? We haven't seen them playing, say, to the outside, or playing corner guards or anything else like that.
No, there's been very, very little once the stone's in the house. That all the plays tended to come into the house that way. It's not been, we had that in the last game, but we had blank ends there. We've never had any real opportunities, arguably through some mistakes up the team.
Do you think it's just because at the end of the day, both of these teams and that, as you say, the game is going to be won or lost in that 4-foot circle and that? It's not going to be won by a loose shot sitting around the outside, is it?
The thing is, you just never know that, but that's what you'd have to assume anyway. And at the moment, it's just a wee bit cagey, and you can understand that. Again, both teams looking to bounce back from a loss earlier this morning, so safety first. I don't want to lose a daft end. That said, we have had a couple of 2s, and it's a reasonably aggressive shot, because it's in behind a guard, and I think this is where Lorna does she take the, obviously she's not got last stone, so two stones in, there's really no option but to be defensive.
Both these skips and that will have coaches, and coaches will have provided them with guidance on how they should actually commence the game, how they should start to play the game, and come the 5th end, coaches will have evaluated perhaps strengths and weaknesses of the teams and their own players, and they'll maybe give them a different steer as to how they should then play the second half of the game. Would you agree with that, David?
Yeah, I think that's a belter of a shot though. Really scraped that guard. Sorry, John, I will get off the fence and answer that one in a second.
Aye, that is quite right. That was a good shot. Great
See,
shot.
that just squeaks past the guard. Great sweeping. Great sweeping. Yeah, enough power just to bounce that yellow out. The way it disappears out entirely. Another cheer from the football. I would suggest it's 2-0. And just to come back to what you're saying about coaches, I think it just depends on the team dynamics, on whether you tell a team as a group or whether the coach speaks to the skip. It really just depends on the person or people, really, the coach and the skip, as to how they want to deal with a game.
Don't know if that's what she was looking for.
No, I think I just came a wee bit tight to the guard there.
Probably too little weight, eh?
I think it's a danger of playing down weight there, was always spinning the guard in. And that could well come back and force a one at the end of this end. Viewers with a chance to guard up here. Just sneaking a little too far in here.
Double zone.
Treble might even be on, John. Not necessarily looking to play it though. They'll be more concerned with trying to get the shooter behind the corner guard. Remember, they're trying to score a 2 this end, so.
She's obviously worried about the jam in the back. Yellow there.
I think she is, but at the end of the day, this is, if you're going to bail out at the end, this is probably a good time to do it. So if you're not bailing out and you're looking to get in behind the corner, the jam is almost irrelevant. Yeah, nice
good shot.
Doesn't quite get the roll, but. Because I'm assuming that yellow's out at the back.
Aye. I think it is.
So you're not really losing anything by jamming. No, it's not as if you're knocking your own stone out of the house. So. Super's on this one all the way.
And it's going to hit jam on the back.
That's jammed.
And it's going to hit jam on the back.
That's the mistake we were looking for. How to capitalise on it we were looking for. How would you be playing here, John? I'll ask you before you've got a chance to ask me.
I just wondered whether they would have tried to move that yellow and just try to lift yellow and just try to run to the right, but
lift the house up.
Aye, but
I think they're doing a variation of that, just drawn to the right hand side wing as we look at it there.
just that aye, they could move to the right, but it still leaves a hit and roll on that centre yellow, you know. So
yep.
On that centre yellow, you know. So.
Yep.
But again, it's a wee bit of a trick shot, and we haven't seen much of it.
No. I wonder if the ice is a wee bit difficult at that kind of hack weight. Some seem to be swinging, some aren't, and maybe just lost confidence in that shot. This one looks a wee bit short.
It does, aye.
They really need to get this fully in the rings.
It does, aye. They need to kill the two at the back, don't they?
And the one in the
They
front
need
rings
to
as
kill
well.
the two at the
Aye.
back, don't
I
they?
don't think they've done it. They haven't.
No.
I think it's line third shot. I guess third shot. I think it's line third shot. I guess third shot. So Weaversink another chance to clear this middle one now. Weaversink another chance to clear this middle one now. It's another roar from the football. I'm beginning to suspect the St Mirren fans are just noisy. I'm beginning to suspect the St Mirren fans are just noisy. I'll have a check on the BBC website in a minute, John. It's a fifth end break in a second, we can look at that. That's what the fifth end break was designed for.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the fifth end break was designed for.
Stone coming well.
It's a good bit further up in
Stone
weight, this
coming
one.
well.
It's a good bit further up in weight. There's no set. Out it goes. No set. Out it goes. Just move the scoreboard just to check there was nothing at the back of the house there. The scoreboard just to check there was nothing at the back of the house there. Scoreboard just to check there was nothing.
There's not much else on, Hannah. There's not much else on, Hannah. There's not much else on, Hannah.
Yeah, I think you're right, John. That's just purely because that yellow came up a wee bit short there. Just purely because that yellow came up a wee bit short there.
Hannah does have last shot advantage here, so that will be in her mind. That will be in her mind. That will be in her mind. Shout encouragement. And that looks a good shot.
Cracking shot.
And that looks a good shot.
Cracking shot.
And that looks yes. It is still sitting proud, and it is still sitting proud. I would say that it is possible to actually catch the half of it. Catch the half of it.
Down the outside, do you think?
No, the only thing is that from the opposition's point of view, obviously a chance of it going across and jamming on their blue, because I don't think she'll catch it that much.
I think you'd have to be pretty thin for that.
She'll
To be
catch
fair.
it that
You'd probably need full peel weight, and which I don't think this will be, because I think I think if I was playing this, I'd be worried about this running straight down here. If I was playing this, I'd be worried about this running straight down here.
I don't think they could see as much of that yellow stone they're looking to hit as what we think they can. Looking to hit as what we think they can.
We'll be able to give you a wee look down the ice. It's not overly clear. We can probably see about half stone there. On it all the way. Is it past the card? No, and it's going to chip it in. Don't want to touch that back blue. It's got it over the top. It's got it over the top.
Will she try to put another one in there and leave that blue there for another shot, or will she try and take that? Would she try to take that blue out there? No, she's just looking to draw.
Yeah, I think she's just looking to draw in behind her own yellow stone now.
And then the opposition have got to follow her, or try to beat her there.
Concentrating too much on buttons. Remind me who's got last stone here, John?
Fleming.
Yeah, so just looking to split the house to try and make sure they've got a two. So just looking to split the house to try and make sure they've got. Or the option over two.
Plus, if she plays one into that side there and no opposition go to hit it, who knows, there's a chance that that blue that's sitting on the back right as we view it, wouldn't take much to shift that, and provide the yellows with the option of maybe a big end.
Just it's you're always banking on your opposition and making 100% shots. So guarantee the 2 first of all, and then worry about anything else after that.
That's a good shot. That's a good shot.
It's play straight back. Straight back might be on because it just about gives you 2 options, but no, take the one out, make sure you don't lose any more than a one.
Or is she just looking to just move it a wee bit and just lie?
No, she'll just be looking to get rid of this, John, I think.
She wouldn't want to risk 3.
Exactly that, I think.
She wouldn't want
I was a wee bit worried about jamming on the back ones. As long as you get somewhere near those, it shouldn't be a problem. I think the blue one on the left hand side up at the top of the 12 foot, that's going to be the saving stone, so she can afford to have a go at this one. As long as she hangs around with the shooter, it should be no more than a 2. That's the theory anyway.
So Lorna playing her last shot of this 5th end. Last shot of this 5th end. Last shot of this 5th end. Seems to have the weight. They're certainly not doing anything with it. Have the weight. They're certainly not doing anything with it.
It's jammed, but it's okay, I think.
Tis I.
Unless Hannah wants to play a big
Tis
shot.
on.
Big shot, but it's only for a 3, I think. So
Take the
I
2.
think you just take the 2 here. I don't think there's any
Take the
benefit
2.
of trying to play a
Going into half time.
exactly. I think
Going
you
into
should have
half
taken
time.
that before the game started. So again, it's just back to this control thing. You're 2 up. You're playing the first stone. You can control how the game goes. Good positive half-time team talk. Don't know if it's like football. They always say scoring the goal just before half-time is a big thing in football. I don't know if that's quite made it to curling yet. No reason it shouldn't be, I suppose.
I did think of asking one of the coaches to listen in on their team talks, but I'm not sure that coaches to listen in on their team talks.
I think we may get told to disappear.
Yes. Yes. So they're shouting them on to sweep it. We're looking to get it straight onto there. Don't want a half. To get it straight onto there. Don't want a half. So Fleming 2 up at half time. Good game. Both teams have been playing well. Some errors, but probably about 50% each on what you would expect. Probably in any curling game.
It's been a positive first 5 ends, I think, John. I think it's not been too negative. There's been a few stones in play, admittedly some by mistake. But I think the scoreline suggests it's fairly even, and it is. But I think the Fleming rink will obviously be the happier. They are 2 shots up.
Oh, you're always happy, aye.
You've got to be happy at that.
I'm always happy, aye.
So yeah, we'll see what the next 5 ends bring.
Any Facebook things? Are you not on Facebook at the moment?
No, I've got enough buttons to press.
Okay.
Not fairly quiet this game so far. Nobody giving anybody else abuse down the side, which is always good. It's something encourage that to continue. Just a quick reminder: if you are missing any of the games and you want to watch them later, or even if you know the players and think they would like to watch them later, they will be available on the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Dumfries Curling, and you'll actually find a link to that in the chat down the right hand side of the live stream. If you do get a chance, really like it. If you could just press the subscribe button. If you've got a Google account or a YouTube account, that's literally all you have to do. Just one click, and you'll help us out a lot, and hopefully be able to provide us with a better service in the future. Less bank adverts. I've been told it's a bank advert that's annoying people this weekend, so we did get told during the half-time break between games there that There was one particularly annoying advert to watch, but I'm afraid we're not in control of that. So if you could give that a like, that would be really good. So if you could give that a like, that would be really good. So the only other thing to mention just while we're on a quick break here is the World Seniors and the World Mixed Doubles. Dumfries has that in April. Tickets are on sale. All the information for the events on the website there, dumfriescurling.co.uk. It's only season passes that are available just now. Certainly encourage people. They've been selling reasonably well so far. So if you want to be here for the week, I would certainly encourage you to buy them. It should be a good week for Dumfries in its entirety. It's be a good competition. So we're just going to take a very quick break, going to grab ourselves a drink, and we'll be back shortly for ends 6 to 10. So we're just going to take a very quick break, going to grab ourselves a drink, and we'll be back shortly for ends 6 to 10.
I'm sure that you've all missed us, and you've been watching this end, and as you can see, it's missed us and built up with been watching this end. Lorna having some control over it, built up with
This one needs to swing a bit though.
some control over it, built up with
This one needs to swing a bit though.
some control over it.
Just opt to replace that one, I think. Just opt to replace that one, I think. Big football news though, John. I found out the score.
Right,
Two all.
tell the whole world.
It's 2-all. 2-all.
Is it?
Queens are still in it, coming from behind. 2-all. It's 2-all. 2-all. Queens are still in it, coming from behind.
So an important stall here for Lorna, because she really needs to get this one in. She's only got one other one in there, and it's quite open. So an important stall. So she seems quite happy with this. Get this one in. She's only got one other one in there, and it's quite open. So an important stall. So she seems quite happy with this.
Sloppy stuff that is.
If you saw my delivery, you'd appreciate that.
Your delivery's improved a lot this year, John.
If you saw my delivery, you'd appreciate that.
No, if you'd seen my last game. No, if you'd seen my last game.
Yeah, ideally we'd wanted that blue to stop top of the tee line. It gives Hannah a chance to come down on top of it now. Ideally we'd wanted that blue to stop top of the tee line. It gives Hannah a
The thing is that weight is quite critical here. If you're just too heavy, you can see that they're staying that wee bit straighter. They're not getting the draw. And she really needs the draw into here in the last 8 or 12 feet of play. If she doesn't get that, she's just going to catch the side of it, move the blue further hidden, and if she doesn't get that, she's just going to just go out to the side there. Further hidden, and if she doesn't get that, she's just go out to the side there.
So the last 5 ends of today's play. Both teams looking, as I said before, to bounce back from a defeat in their last game. So quite important last 5 ends for both teams. They don't want to lose both games. They're going to tomorrow having to win both games and have a winning record for the weekend.
So Hannah will be wanting to lie up against this shot because Reavers has got last shot.
I don't think it's there, John.
Oh, it is, aye. Will be wanting to line up against this shot because Reavers has got last shot.
I don't know the sweep of that.
Oh, it is,
It's
aye.
not quite made it.
No,
It's a wee mistake there.
it is, aye. We've seen that before. No. Just needs a wee bit heavier kick out the hack. Just needs a wee bit heavier kick out the hack. So advantage to Beavers here. Opportunity for her to certainly get her 2 back. So advantage to Beavers here. Possibly even 3 or 4. Just depends on how it goes.
Get, sorry, John, talking across you
Possibly. No, go.
If she can get right down on the top 12,
How it goes.
in behind the long yellow guard, that's going to stop
No,
Hannah
good.
tapping that. Just, I love it when these stars just tap exactly where we're talking about. It makes my job a whole lot easier. Sit there, stops them using the yellow, and we're going to have a few problems, I think, at that. The nice thing is if you get just behind the yellow, the other yellow, say the weak's feet there, might just stop any kind of motion or movement as well. Could well be a 3 this end for Irish State. Sweeper's working on this one. Swinging nice, you see the swing there now.
Looks as if it's coming short, is it?
Just get it in for third. Very well swept.
Looks as if it's coming short, is it?
Just not quite tucked in, so Hannah will have a shot to try and clear a couple of these blues. Just not quite tucked in, so Hannah will have a shot to just
So
try
tap her own up or hit the blue?
I think you
Try
have
to take 2.
I think you have to hit the blue and try and take 2.
So tap her
If you
own
do
up
take the
or
black
hit the
double,
blue?
you may well just lie there
Try
and
to
it's
take
quite
2.
awkward for long to get in for second shot then.
So tap her own up or hit the blue?
Just slightly higher nose as we're looking at, slightly to the right of nose.
problem being if she just tapped her own and it went the wrong way, viewers would have just hit her blue onto the yellow and it'd be a liner. If she just tapped her own and it went the wrong way, viewers would have just hit her blue onto the yellow. She's not really got much choice in this.
Yeah, I think she has to get rid of a couple here.
She's not really got much choice.
A nose hit and just getting rid of one's not too bad because it's quite awkward to get a third shot in there.
She'd be quite happy to lose a one.
I think she would be ecstatic to lose a one at the moment.
She'd be quite happy to lose a one. Oh.
She might get it. It's just I thought she was getting a double on the inside there.
Oh, she got the jam.
So Lorna will have a chance now to draw for 3 inside there.
Oh, she got the jam.
So Lorna will have a chance now to draw for 3.
Oh, she got the jam. So Lorna take it nice in the middle of the 8 foot, looking for the draw, down between the two guards there. So Lorna take it nice in the be able to use her own blue at the back there, just to stop it. Sweeper's working hard.
I think it's halfway line as opposed to weight.
Looks as if it's got plenty of weight.
Weight's good. Just making sure it's past the guards. Nicely drawn in for 3. The game changes round.
So Viva's one up. So Viva's one up. So Viva's one up. Big changes in other plays. Barr versus Aitken. Big changes. Somebody's just stood in front of me, but Barr's certainly well up now. And the same with Martin versus Marshall. Just stood in front of Barr's actually well up now. Martin got a 4 there, taking them to 9-2 up. Martin
Could be an early finish on that one.
9-2. When is it they can finish? 7th end? Is it?
I'm not sure if it's. I think it's after 6. It used to be after 6. I'm fairly sure.
When is it?
To be honest, I haven't played at this level for a long time, John. So it's amazing how quickly you fall out of things.
So Barr versus Aitken is 7-2. So Barr versus Aitken is 7-2.
So we're into the 7th end. Game swung round again. Lorna taking the 3 there. Swung round again. Lorna taking the 3 there. Swung round again. This is looking like one of these ends that could be quite quick, John. It's got that look about it.
I had a look along the time clocks earlier on, and they all seemed about within 3 or 4 minutes of each other, and I thought, that's not bad. And I thought, 3 or 4 minutes is half an end. 3 or 4 minutes of each other, and I thought,
So who's behind on the time clock?
I can't. 3 or 4 minutes is half an end. It was like, you know, so,
We might do another check of that.
you know, so.
Next time, just to make sure.
But when you're talking about 7.5 minutes allowed per end, but 4 minutes to me didn't seem much allowed per end. That's just about whole end of different. 4 minutes to me.
I think as the Scottish ladies found out this morning, it's quite tough to play an end in 4
Right.
minutes. I think some of the club curlers around here would be interested in putting time clocks on them. 6 end epics. Some of the club curlers around here would be interested in putting time clocks on them. They'd want an extra allowance for sorting the stones out.
And getting into the hark and going down to the hark and hunting for your brush and hunting for your kipper and getting into the hark and
Checking the mobile phones. The list's endless, isn't it?
Hunting for your kipper and getting into the hark and
Checking the mobile phones. The list's endless, isn't it? I think generally that has improved over the last year or two. I think as to be honest, I think as more top class curling's on the internet and people have watched it, they realise that they really should be getting through 8 ends in 2 hours quite comfortably. Occasionally getting into their 9th.
with some, there's others that, it's just not struck them yet. So, but that's life, you know.
I think Jim Hogg locally is the one to follow on that one. Jim's always disappointed if he doesn't get his 9th end in.
I think he's going for 12 sometime.
It's a good example. If he doesn't get his 9th end in.
I think he's going for 12 sometime.
It's a good example.
One of the things that I have commented on is the fact that we've now got L-shaped colours in for putting the stones in, and I find that that seems to minimise the time that people spend in trying to sort out the stones. It used to be that there was maybe a minute and a half spent at each end sorting them out at 1, 2, 3, 4, whereas now you just put them into the L and you can just pick out what you want, you know. So
At the risk of repeating a line that somebody's made up at some stage, apparently that was Canadian research on how best, the most efficient way to put curling stones for your average club curler. So for those that don't know, they kind of go 5 stones along the back and then 3 up the side of the rink into the kind of L shape as John described there. The aim being it's dead easy. Skip should just be putting the stones away as they come through the house, and then they're easy to find after that. No digging about. Skip should just be putting the stones away as they come through the house, and then they're easy. That's a theory.
well, it was an old guy in Canada that mentioned it to us, and they had worked out that it saved them 10 seconds a stone. Well, it was an old guy in 16 stones, that's 1 they had worked out that it saved them 10 minutes, 60 seconds.
Just given there's not a load of stones in play just now, that's what we're talking about. All ready to play. Stones in play just now, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, no, I think generally it has sped things up. Ready to play. Yeah, no, I think generally it has sped things up. We've got a few cartoon characters drawn into some of them. Some of the more creative ice stuff when the ice went down.
Anyway, as we watch this lovely circle, the nice outer 12 foot, with a nice white 8 foot, and a green 4 foot, and then a nice white bullseye in the centre.
Local ice rink colours.
The numbers, the F3 and N3, are to do with our cameras, so we can actually work out. So it's far sheet 3, and when we go round, it's N3. Actually work out. So it's far sheet 3, and when we go round, it's N3. And this is the Cooperative Funeral Care, the Scottish Curling Women's Championship. Cooperative Funeral Care. Last game on today, another game on at 9 o'clock in the morning. If you are wanting to come before and after church, there's plenty of. You just come in, it's free. If you are wanting to come before and after church, there's plenty of. Here we've got the two teams of Hannah Fleming playing Lorna Weavers, both entered under Lockerbie. It's Hannah Fleming with third Jennifer Dodds, second Alice Spence and lead Abby Brown. And Lorna has got, well, my list says it's Sarah Reid, Rebecca Kelsley and Rachel Hannah.
I think that looks about right.
Sarah Reid, Rebecca Kelsley and Rachel Hannah.
So
both teams in the seventh end keeping it clear. At the end of the day, there's only one shot in it. Both teams, both skips recognising that the game can be won or lost in this end or the next game. The game can be won or lost in this end or the next game. Both teams also perhaps thinking about who will have the hammer in the 10th end, so that will be a consideration for them. That will be a consideration for them. So Hannah looking to just catch that edge of that there. I would turn around and say that that's probably in. So the opposition have got to shift it. I would turn around and say that that's probably in. I'll guarantee that the two sweepers, Jennifer and Alice, that their arms are like lead as they work that one there. It's probably been a hard 6 or 7 ends for them. Work that one there.
Yeah, it's been a fair bit of sweeping so far.
Hard,
second game of the day as well. I'm a bit old school, I'm afraid, John. I've reached that age where we always used to play 3 games a day.
Right.
So, but having played 3 8-end games last weekend, 2's more than enough. A wee bit of a mistake there. Just hit on the nose.
Hannah looking to draw around the back of that one, will she? Or will she just sit it in the middle and look for a blank end to draw around the back of that one, will she?
The graphics here, I'm afraid, John, if it's last stone, I don't think she'll be making use of it.
I'm not sure if it is or not.
Yeah, I would say it is.
Oh well, she'll just bin it down.
I suspect that is definitely last stone.
Sorry, my apologies. Stupid question. So, Hannah wanting to retain last shot advantage. She's looking to get a 2 or 3. So, Hannah wanting to retain last shot advantage. She's looking to get a 2.
Also gets her last stone in the 8s as well, which could prove useful. Scoring in even number ends. Also gets her last stone in the 8s as well, which could prove useful. It seems to be the new thing as well, I've noticed, John, the wee team debrief after every end. Watched it last weekend and as we just got ready to play, the other team were having a wee debrief. Well, it must help team morale, I think, and just talk through any bad shots, get them out of the system and on with the next end.
Well, my team debrief would go somewhere along any chance of you actually getting the lead shots maybe somewhere close to where I would like them. Any chance of the second actually maybe trying to hit something that I'm actually pointing out, and they would point out.
You're not criticising these guys here. This is your normal team.
Aye.
Yes, just before we get complaints.
And they would be turning around and saying perhaps the skip could maybe actually give us better directions, and maybe you could read the ice a wee bit better, and see when you're playing your last shots, try to actually hit what you're going for. You know.
I think maybe we need a new team, John. This doesn't sound the most enjoyable game.
Oh no, you've got to smile when you're doing these things. It's club curling, you know.
It doesn't sound the most enjoyable game. There's no point getting down about it, is there?
Club curling, you know. I think there'll be more criticism aimed at me as opposed to me today.
You'd have broad shoulders as a skip, don't you?
Not only that, I'd want them to play with me again.
Still need them for that next game, yeah.
Not only that, I'd want them to play with me again.
So to those of my team or teams that's out there, can I say to you, I really appreciate what you're doing. So to those of my team or teams that's out there,
I can see this Wednesday night. Nobody's going to turn up at all, are they? We're not playing, are we?
it's not my team.
Oh, this
It's not my team.
Even better.
It's not my team.
Oh,
It's not my team.
Even better.
No, I found if I don't put an entry in, I don't have the problem of trying to find players to play. No, I found if I don't put an entry in,
Yes, there is that. There is that.
or the Tuesday night that you get the phone call to say, listen, I can't play tomorrow.
Can you find me somebody?
Tuesday night.
There's always an easy answer to that one, isn't there?
Anyway, let's get back to the game in hand.
Well, I think it leads into a conversation around this, John, because one of the questions or one of the queries I've got
Anyway,
is
let's get back to the game in hand.
for the Scottish Ladies Championship. I think it leads into a conversation. Obviously, the standout team at the moment, Eve Muirhead, isn't able to compete this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I was RCCC, I'd find it a wee touch disappointing that there's only 7 teams entered. You're not going near that one with a barge pole, are you?
No, I take your point.
A good opportunity for teams this year, and
No, I take your point. Well, especially some of the younger. I mean, we've got lots of junior girls playing right throughout the country, and especially some of the. And you're quite right there. We would have thought that maybe more of them would have been entered here.
yeah, I mean it's.
Right throughout the country.
I appreciate there might be a wee bit of a gulf in quality, but there's only one way you get the experience. Yeah, I mean it's. The better teams you play, the better you get generally. The old adage, you learn more in defeat than you do when you win.
That's right, and curling's actually quite an equal sport, you know. That maybe get better. Some teams are picked and get good coaching, but there's equally as good teams out there that aren't receiving that, you know, and they've got better ability because they're the ones that actually end up being fed into the program. Coaching, but
Because I think the other thing to consider is, well, obviously, as we said before, there's junior competition going on today. What is the Premier Competition in Scotland for the ladies? As 7 teams of 4 playing. It's not a great deal in numbers terms as a percentage of members. 7 teams of 4 playing. It's not a great deal in numbers terms as a percentage of members. 7 teams of 4 playing. It's not a great deal in numbers terms as a percentage of members. Got our first result of the session, John.
Well, it looks like Bar, I presume, has won.
Got our first result of the session, John.
They've shaken hands. I don't know what happened in the 8th end. So Bar,
Yeah, it's just reminder for those that haven't seen it in the Scottish before. There's no points for Ains or shots up. It's just purely on wins. So teams quite often, if they look like they're not going to make a comeback, they can just call it a day, get off the ice and regroup for the next game.
Go to the bar.
Often, if they look like they're not going to make a comeback, they can no comment. Potentially. Not the done thing, but
For the funding.
I think there has been a certain element of relaxation, particularly after a defeat. So, not the done thing, but
For the funding.
I think there has been a certain element of relaxation, particularly after a defeat.
So,
So,
on a line 2 here. One in the 4 foot and guarded in the 12 foot. On a line 2 here. One in the 4 foot and guarded. Fleming has got the last stone advantage. On a line 2 here. We're looking to get a 2 here.
it's blank the last end, so certainly looking to make that
advantage. So Lorna's, this is her playing the 2 here. First of her 2 stones.
it's blank the last end, so certainly looking to
Looking to push that back. Lorna's, this is her if she gets it right, she might actually get both of them.
Sweepers on it. Must be really close to the guard. I think it's
So
on
she
it.
had to play that. If she gets it right, she
And
might
it's going to
actually
lock,
get
but it's
both
locked
of
out
them.
the rings. Sweepers on it. Must be really close
So,
to the guard.
what does Hannah have to here?
Draw to the wing, I think. There you go. It's going to lock, but it's locked out.
She not leaving Lorna a draw to that back one thing? What does Hannah have to here?
Potentially. Again, it just depends how you think your opposition is going to play, because
Lorna a draw
when you
to
start
that
line
back
3
one thing?
against, certainly if I was Lorna, you're 1 up. You don't want to lose any more. If you play the draw and don't make the draw, you could lose a 4. Whereas you lift a double, you're only going to lose a 2. You're 1 down, going down the 9th, blank the 9th, you're 1 down with down the last end. So.
Plus, of course, in fairness to Hannah, if she put the 2 of them together, Lorna's just got to take both of them out.
Yeah, exactly.
Hannah's no want to take a 1.
She's just going to launch that one down there. So, drawn to the wing.
2 of them together. Lorna's just got to
Doesn't guarantee you 2, but it probably gives you a better option of scoring at least a 2. Swinging nicely. It's not going to swing enough to where exactly they wanted it, but as long as you get 3 in here, probably. Maybe an argument of bringing that a wee bit further back than they have.
Is she offering her the double?
I think she is. I think that's a shot to play, because if you don't catch the double, you might just land right in there, which would upset the end.
Is she offering her the double?
I think she is.
So do you think that last shot of Hannah's maybe run a foot further than what she'd hope for her?
I think a foot further or a foot less, either way.
So do you think that last shot of Hannah's maybe run a foot further than what she'd hope for
it's
her?
difficult. It's easy from up here, isn't it? It's really easy, but I think bringing it a wee bit further back in the house wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world.
A foot further than what she'd hope for
It's
her.
difficult. It's easy from up here, isn't it? It's really easy, but I think bringing it a wee bit further back
So a big shot here for Lorna.
wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world.
Doesn't want to fresh this. Going to give here for Lorna. Hannah 4 shots then. Doesn't want to hit and stick, because same thing, she's going to give her 3 shots, so Hannah has to really get this double. 4 shots then. Doesn't want to hit and stick, because same thing, it's drawn, it's going to go out. Has to really get this double. So it's drawn, it's going to go out. Has to really get this double. So, bit of pressure on Hannah here. She's sometimes not just drawn to the point that she wanted to. Hannah here, she's sometimes not just drawn just getting down in the hack to the point that getting herself composed. So. And that's her started. The sweepers are just with it. Starting to work it now. And that's her started. The sweepers are just with it. Good weight. Starting to work it now. And that's her started. So.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Does draw for 3. So that puts Fleming 2 shots up against Beaver, so it's 8-6 as we play the finish the 7th end and go into the 8th end. 2 shots up against Beaver, so it's 8-6 as we play the finish the 7th end. Oh, sorry, 8th end. I see that the 7th end was blank.
No, that's fine. As long as I've got the numbers right, that's the main
No,
thing.
thank you for correcting me. Cause oh, sorry, 8th end. I see that the 7th end was blank.
No, that's fine. As long as I've got the numbers right, that's the main
No,
thing.
thank you for
So the
correcting
game
me.
swings round again.
Oh, sorry. 8th end. I see. So Fleming will be looking to. No, thank you.
Swings round again.
Try and keep control of this next end. So Fleming will be
I
looking
would suspect this will be try and keep it as clean as you possibly can.
Try and keep control of this next end.
Think
Where's she
it's
going to put her first shot? In the house.
In the house, top 4.
And get
top
the
four
opposition
signaling.
drawn into it.
Well, I think she knows that Lorna's going to have to put a corner
Where's she
guard
going
up.
to put her
So
first shot?
if
In
you
the
get one
house.
top of the 4 foot now, that's quite an
And get the
advantage.
opposition drawn in.
Well, I think she knows that Lorna's going to have to put a corner guard up. So if you get one top of the 4 foot now,
Plenty of speed on this.
that's quite an advantage.
Just starting to draw now. Slow down. Still got speed on it.
That's the one I hate as a lead. It's just a wee bit heavy, so they're just going to take it back.
Starting to draw now. Slow down.
Take it through wouldn't be a bad
Still
option.
got speed on it.
That's the one I hate as a lead. It's just hanging about, I think. It's just take the score away. Yeah, you can just see it hanging there. That's the one the skip always, just before they play it, they just say, don't put a guard up and don't go behind the tee line. Take the score away. Yeah, you can just see it hanging there. Certainly cuts your options down a bit.
Aye.
None of this draft to the 12-foot stuff that the skip gets away with. Certainly cuts your options down. The pressure
Aye.
position playing lead. None of this draft to the 12-foot stuff that the skip gets away with. So as predicted, Lorna puts the corner guard up. Kind of forced into that now. So as predicted, Lorna puts the corner guard up. Kind of forced into that now.
Both these teams really needing to win this game if they want to go into tomorrow with a decent chance of being top. If they want
It's a
to
slightly strange
go
one, I
into
suppose, because
tomorrow with
you could actually have a fairly poor weekend this
a decent
weekend
chance of
and still
being, top.
still have a good weekend in Perth or a good week in Perth and come through the whole competition. So you could actually have a fair. I'd rather be going into Perth with a couple of wins under your belt at least. I would think. Still have a good weekend in Perth or a good week in Perth and come.
Oh,
through the
definitely. I
competition.
mean, you just feel a lot happier when you're
wins under your belt at least. I would think.
2 or 3 wins there, and you know that you're near the top of the leaderboard. You just feel a lot happier. Plus, you've got bragging. You know that you're near the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, I don't mind that. That's always a good. It's a good thing to have, isn't
Got
it?
bragging rights, aye.
I think it just gives you the confidence to go into the new year, knowing you're in a good position in the Scottish. And I don't mind that. That's always past the guard. Thing to have, isn't it?
Bragging rights, aye. Well, Hannah was in the finals last year, and she'll be looking to be in the finals again this year. I'm not sure how many years. Well, Hannah was in the finals
years
last
running, I
year,
think,
and she'll
John.
be looking. And it was Eve Muir in the finals again this year.
Yep, from memory.
So. Well, Hannah was in the finals last year, and she'll be looking. And it was Eve Muir in the finals again this year.
From memory.
So. Shouting, giving a lot of encouragement to the sweepers.
The corner guard will be looking for that one to run out. It looks like it will do.
Yes, no wanting anything out there that's going to give the opposition a chance.
Yep, away it goes. Keep it nice and clean. Corner guard will be looking for that one to run out. It looks like it will do.
Yes, no wanting anything out there that's going to give the opposition a chance.
Yeah, away it goes, keep it nice and clean.
Yes, no wanting anything out there that's going to give the opposition a chance.
So it's Lorna called here a hit. Hitting the stick. It's always a problem with ripping the corner guard. It does get the 2 stones in the house, but that's quite a long time in the end to go yet. Stick. It's always a problem with ripping the corner guard. It does get the 2 stones in the house, but it's quite a long. To be fair, at some point she would have had to move that yellow, so.
So, Hannah looking for a double here. So, Hannah looking for a double here. Play the in hand, catch the inside of that stone there. Don't know if she's that happy about it. Play the in.
No, wee chance there just to get rid of both blues, but it's only got rid of one, but it's also left a stone that could cause her problems later in the end, so not the ideal result there. Got some exciting news about tomorrow's game, John. We've got a new commentator in for tomorrow.
Who's coming tomorrow?
Just newly signed and confirmed. Mr. Scott Hamilton. Mr. Scott Hamilton. No, he can only make 10 o'clock. No, he can only make 10 o'clock. I'm just not sure about. It's not a great effort, but
No, I think it's very poor actually.
No, I think it's yeah, Scott will be with us tomorrow. And that's a pretty good result.
Not sure I'll make 9 o'clock.
Well, I'm just thinking if none of us make 9 o'clock, we've got a problem.
Sloaney.
I daren't leave Sloaney to come in on his own at 9 o'clock. We've seen the number of buttons there is for him to get wrong here.
He can do this buttons on the timers. He can do this. When we're,
Start and stop. Start and stop. I dread to think what we'd end up broadcasting. This looks a wee bit narrow, this one. The sweepers are holding it well. That blue that's frozen up the top has caused Fleming Rink a few problems. So Lorna looking quite good.
yes, it could be a decider, that one. Yes, it could be a decider, that one.
So at the moment the money would be going down the last end even. And from what I've seen of Lorna's games, I think that's been their problem. They've got to the last end in not the best position. Not bad on the scoreboard, but just been chasing the game a wee touch. Again, there must be a temptation to move that one on the right hand side, but going for the easy stone to take, make sure they don't lose any silly ends here. Take that out, roll to the wing. And Hannah will be hoping to give Lorna a few problems with that one. Hands out again. Sweepers on and off it. It's never a bad sign.
It's a half and roll. No.
Doesn't quite get the roll.
No. But we've seen that time and time again. They're looking for that roll, and they're just not just getting the angles on them.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a weight issue or whether it's a line issue or. Maybe just throwing a fraction more weight than they're anticipating. Stone not moving. This one looks okay though. This one looks okay though. It does give Hannah an excuse to go for that top blue, however.
Just didn't it? Really, she's got to go for it. Really, she's got to go. Really,
I think you could still come off the centre line, to be fair, and get in behind it. The risk with going for that top one is that you catch it thin and you just jam it there.
Right, but she's no worse in that position
there is a
then.
double there, so as long as you're on the outside of it.
Time out position then.
Not yet, I don't think. They're calling up the front end just to have a look.
Time out position then.
Certainly Alice Spence making her way up the ice just now. I think they're worried about a big draw of the centre line just by the hand gestures there.
See them looking up to the clock to see what the time is. See them looking up to the clock to see what the time is.
So they're coming off that centre line.
Ninth end, we need 8 minutes for the last end. Ninth end, X number of shots this, so 8 minutes for the if they're less than 11-12 minutes they'll be worried. Ninth end, X number of shots this, so
We'll leave them to worry about the time clock.
less than 11-12 minutes. X number of shots this, so
We'll leave them to worry about the time clock.
less than 11-12. So we're just waiting for Hannah Fleming to play a shot here. So we're just
Stood away now.
Hannah Fleming to play a shot here.
It looks pretty good from this angle.
It does, doesn't it? Going to get a wee robe. Oh,
It's
aye.
a good stone.
It does, aye.
It looks pretty good from this angle.
It does, doesn't it? Going to get a wee robe.
Well, we'll be able to see that though, so follow it down, roll to the other side of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Sarah Reid demonstrating there exactly what they're looking for.
I'm not going to ask you to change the ends, but Martin versus Marshall. A lot of stones in the head there. Martin's versus Marshall. Won both the 7th and 8th end.
Just to prove we can, we'll go there if we get a chance in a minute or two.
Won both the 7th and 8th end.
We'll go there if we get a chance in a minute or two. There's the view that's facing Lorna at the moment.
So it's certainly doable.
Yep, you can see the whole stone there. Pretty much the whole stone anyway.
So it's certainly
Jump that a
doable.
wee touch.
Clearly got enough space. Is it going past the side of it?
The whole stone anyway. Should.
I'll tell you what, there's no much in it.
He's going to take it out, but whether the shooter lies.
I'll tell you what, there's no much in it.
It's going.
Oh, it is, aye. So, will Hannah Fleming hit the blue, take the blue? Oh, it is, aye.
Without
So,
shadow of a doubt.
Will Hannah Fleming hit the blue, take the blue? She'll just be worried that it comes off her yellow and jams onto the blue of the far side there.
Suspect this won't be hanging about in terms of speed.
She wants to take it out and leave her own yellow there.
Suspect this won't be hanging about in terms of speed.
She wants to take it out and leave her own yellow there. Wants to take it out and leave her own yellow there. The score is about 9-5 for the red.
And this is Jennifer Martin playing this stone. She is red, I think. It's close. It's close. Oh. It's a saver though.
According to here.
It's a saver though. End not finished, so not last stone there. We'll maybe just make a wee journey back into that one once we've seen this being played. End not finished.
Hannah not given any
Maybe just make a wee journey back into that one once we've seen this being
allowing
played.
anything on this stone. She must be playing good strike weight onto it.
Yeah, as I said, she won't reduce the chance of a jam by throwing it heavy. As I said, she won't reduce the chance of a jam by it's pretty good. Bounce it off the yellow.
Bounce it off the
Straight-
yellow.
straight through.
aye.
Pretty good. Bounce it off the yellow. It's a good stone.
Bounce it off the
Straight-
yellow.
straight
Forcing
through.
Lorna to take a 1.
It's a good stone. Straight
Forcing Lorna to take a 1. Forcing Lorna to take a 1.
End on sheet 6 getting ever more cluttered.
So Jennifer Martin
On sheet 6 getting ever more cluttered.
got the hammer here. So Jennifer Martin got the hammer here. So 4 in the game. 4 in the game.
Sweeper's working this one. Looks okay though. Looks absolutely fine. Sweeper's working this one. Looks okay. Keeping it clean now. Looks absolutely fine. Working this one. Looks okay. Keeping it clean now. Looks absolutely fine.
Tribute to Graham Black and the staff. I've not seen any pickups or heard any word of any pickups. Not nice. So
We don't want to jinx that with one end to go, John.
I'm touching wood at the same time, aye. So
So that gives Hannah Fleming a one-shot lead going down the last end, and she'll have last stone as well. So she'll be fairly happy with that at this point.
this is sheet F, Martin versus Marshall.
As well, so she'll be fairly happy with that at this point.
This is sheet F, Martin versus Marshall. This is sheet F, Martin versus Marshall.
Do you know if this is last stone or not, John?
I think it is, aye. Marshall needs to get the 2 here. Lie into the back of
This is
that
last stone or not?
red. I think it is. Oh no, sorry. Marshall needs to. This is here. Martin playing for Sund. Red. Oh no, sorry. Just looking to edge that blue out. Martin playing. So it's starting to draw
Looking a bit
now.
high, is it?
Looking to edge
Touch
that
high.
blue out.
Steal one, I think.
Starting to draw now.
High, is it? It is. It's a steal of 1. What does that make the score then, Joe? 1 more to the Blues. Aye, so they'll all be standing in front of the scoreboard, won't they?
9-6. That was the 9th end. So
What does that make the score then, Joe? 1 more to so 3 up last ends, so with last stone, so shouldn't be too many problems closing out that game.
So here we are, back with Fleming versus Beavers.
Last ends, so with
Last end.
shouldn't be too many problems.
Beavers has the hammer, there's 1 in it. Here we are, back with Fleming has the hammer. Fleming
does
has the
indeed
hammer.
have the hammer.
Beavers has the hammer, there's 1 in it. Fleming has the hammer. Fleming
Does
has the
indeed
hammer.
have the hammer. Tick shot attempted.
Mm-hmm. Hammer, there's 1 in it. First one we've seen. Fleming has the hammer.
It is. It is.
Has the hammer.
Tick shot attempted.
Mm-hmm.
Would you stand with tick shots, John? You quite like them, or you
First
would
one.
you prefer to see it just swung into the house?
Oh, I think that they've got their place. They clearly open up the centre. They maybe provide a corner guard, but really, as we've talked before, I mean, it's that centre 4 foot that's the target area, so, especially in the last end. So
Entirely agree. Quite like them myself.
That centre 4 foot. It's trying to execute the area. Thing, especially in the last end. So.
Entirely agree. Quite like them. Gets a second go at it as well.
It's trying to execute. I'm sure that they practice these and
I always think it's a wee bit unfair on the stats for Leeds. They don't get marked for throwing a stone through the house, and then they get marked down for if they miss a tick shot. It's a hard life being a lead, I'll tell you.
Mistake.
It's a hard life being a lead, I'll tell you.
So, mistake. Not sure that Hannah picked up. So, because she was like, fine.
I think it's just accepted that you're having to go with it, and if it works, it works,
Not
and
sure
if it
that
doesn't, you know, it's only 2 or 3 inches out, that stone, really.
Mm-hmm.
It just needs a fraction more swing, maybe up in weight a wee touch. So,
Not sure that Hannah.
It's only 2 or 3 inches out, that stone, really.
Mm-hmm.
Just needs a fraction more swing, maybe up in weight a wee touch. So the Beavers Ring got a guard to play with here. And coming around on the in turn, assuming a right-handed player there. So the Beavers Ring got a guard to play with here. Coming around on the in turn, and looking just to put the double guard up, which they have done pretty well. A reasonable space between them. Let the peeling begin. Which they have done pretty well. A reasonable space between them. Let the peeling begin.
So, Beavers looking to draw another shot round, I think, are they? Or are they looking for a guard? I never saw the call.
I'd imagine they're just looking for the guard, John.
Beavers looking to draw another shot round, I think, are they? Or are they looking for a guard? I never saw the call. Bit high.
I'd imagine they're just looking for the guard, John.
Beavers looking to
Just a wee bit close together this
I
time.
think, are they? Or are they looking for a guard? I never saw the call.
That's
Bit
a
high.
pretty difficult to actually get rid of both and not leave your own shooter there. So
Mm-hmm.
just a wee bit close together this time. Looked quite thin on the outside edge and try and get a bit of movement over the top of the second blue, but they'll be doing well to shift both blues this time. Shooter there. So.
Mm-hmm.
Quite thin on the outside edge and try and get a bit of movement over the top of the second blue, but they'll be doing well to shift.
Alice Spence coming out with quite a lot of weight. Wherever she hits is going to move.
It's pretty good.
Alice Spence coming out
Just
with
as I
quite a
thought,
lot
just
of
jams
weight.
on that middle one.
Wherever she hits is going to move.
Lorna looking at coming round now.
Alice Spence coming out
Just
with
as I
quite a
thought,
lot
just
of
jams on
weight.
that middle one. So it was a bit of a
Wherever
dubious
she
one.
hits is going to move.
Even if Lorna does come round, Hannah's probably going to take the guard off anyway. Looking at coming round now.
She has to keep it open, so she's got the chance of clearing the centre. That blue on the left hand side's going to be a problem for it. The chance of clearing the centre. That blue on the left hand side's going to be a problem for it. Lorna will be quite happy to force Hannah to take a 1 here.
Sweepers are on this one. Still looking up though.
Going to catch. Quite happy
No, it's by the guard, I think.
force
John.
Hannah to take a 1 here.
It's a good shot. Just going to drift on. That's a wee touch, but.
We haven't actually seen that many just wee kisses in this game, you know. I mean, they've managed to get the stones past and that. There's been some good curling from both teams. We haven't actually seen that many just wee
It goes
kisses
for the
in this
guard.
game, you know. I mean, they've managed to get the stones past and that. There's just you've got to wreck this guard from both teams. We haven't actually seen that many. Perhaps with the option that if she's a bit lucky, she'll take that blue in the left hand side there as well.
Quite like that because at the moment that's probably the stone that's got her a wee bit worried.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that when she comes
option
up to
that
the last
she's
bit
a
of
bit
line
lucky, she'll
came
take
against.
that blue and say that she's not that far off it. No.
Did the main thing, they'll take the guard out of the equation.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that when she comes up to the last bit of the line came against.
would say that she's
Seems to
not
be
that
Sarah
far
Reid's
off it.
second shot, I think, playing third for Lorna. Looking just to replace that guard.
Say that she's not that far off it.
Second shot, I think, playing third.
Not that much ice given, really.
No, I don't think the swing's big, certainly.
Quite a firm shot that has been played. Not much sweep needed.
Big, certainly. Looks pretty
Quite
good.
a firm shot that
Needed to
has
sit down a wee touch there. Grow a pair of teeth.
not much sweep needed.
It's okay.
Alright, double.
Good. I think even if it's slightly covered out, Hannah's going to take that off anyway.
Thing is, will they try to drive it to get the two, in which case they'll end up sitting the front, or will they
You
just
can, you can
try
afford
to
to play
take-
it. Afford to play it on the high side, because if you end up really high, you've got the double the other
thing
way
is,
as
will
well.
they try
Right.
to drive it
So
get the two, in which case
anywhere
they'll
high
end
of
up
nose
sitting the front, or
it's
will
pretty
they
good
just
here.
try to take
Afford to play it on the high half stone or more. The other way as well.
right.
So
Get the two, in which case
anywhere
they'll
high
end
of
up
nose,
sitting the front, or
it's
will
pretty
they
good
just
here. I'd love to get rid of that one off the forefoot though.
right.
So it's just too thin. It is just slightly too thin.
Nearly.
I'm a wee bit disappointed at that, because that was quite a good chance to get rid of a couple there.
Aye.
Too thin. It is just slightly too thin.
Nearly. So there's the 10th and potentially the last end of this game between Hannah Fleming and Lorna Beavers. Hannah Fleming is one up and has the hammer. Potentially the last end of this game between, as David has just pointed out, that blue that's sitting to the left hand side of the circles could be quite decisive. Blue that's sitting to the left hand
Lorna
side
Beavers
of
playing her
the
first shot at the end.
circles
I think they like the weight,
could
just
be
waiting for
quite
the line.
decisive.
The line looks pretty good to me.
Sitting to the left hand side
Beavers
of
playing her first shot. To watch it doesn't overswing though.
circles
Like the weight,
could
just
be
waiting for
quite
the line.
decisive.
Line looks pretty good to me. Yeah, pretty good again. To watch it doesn't overswing though. It's going to be the same shot, isn't it?
Has to be on.
Called it once, so need to call it the second time.
Has to be on.
So need to call it the second time. Might go for the double on the outside now. Just maybe just rolled a bit far.
Still not second shot.
Yeah, the hand went up there to maybe indicate it was, but
Well, maybe it is. I mean, we've talked about this before, that it's not always to see, easy to see.
the hand went up there to. And we've got another result, John, have we, on Lord F?
It is. I mean, we've talked about this before, that it's
Handshakes are going
not
round
always
anyway.
to see, easy to see.
I'm presuming
The
Jennifer
the
Martin.
C's been put up and
Yeah, so Jennifer Martin wins.
conceded.
Handshakes are going round. Exactly that, yep.
Well, I'm surmising. I know
Run
that
the
there's
stones
I
out.
know that there's a C goes up, or a C available for each
Jennifer Martin.
game.
C goes
so I
up if
presume-
the ends. It used to be a case that the X just went up for an unplayed end, but a C now goes up to say the end was conceded halfway
Right,
through.
okay,
The X
yeah.
goes up against ends that weren't played, I believe.
Right.
C goes up just to make it a wee bit clearer, so it doesn't look like you've given up with 3 ends to go or something. And that's not really the case.
Right. So Lorna Weavers' last shot.
Potentially the last shot. Last shot of this end certainly, but may get another 2 next end.
So Lorna Weavers' last shot. It's drawn.
Potentially the last shot. Last shot of this end
It's
certainly, but
drawn.
another 2 next end. Now we'll find out who shot over
So
there.
Lorna Weavers' last shot. It's drawn.
Potentially the last shot. Last shot of this end
It's
certainly,
drawn.
but another 2 next end. Now we'll find out who shot over there.
It's drawn.
It's close. John's peering out the window. Not sure we'll get much better view, but what do you think, John?
That could be yellow.
I suspect we'll just see John's peering out the window. A back 4-weight, just down on top of that blue now. What do you think, John?
That could be yellow.
I suspect we'll just see
Time.
a back 4-weight, just down on top of that blue.
They're not looking up to see if there's anybody up there that they know.
No, no. Yeah, no coaching from the sidelines, of course, or anything like that. So.
And somebody's got Hannah's stone in the ready. So I don't think they've got that much time to play with. And somebody's got Hannah's stone in the ready. So I don't think they've got that much time to play with. I think that somebody's got Hannah's stone in the ready. So I don't think they've got that much time to play with. I think that
Just as a wee tidy up from the game this morning, if you were watching that, we're talking about John Graham's stopwatch. You can now see that on the Facebook page. It's just Dumfries Curling on Facebook. Just as a wee tidy up from I think more of them should be strapped to a brush. I think it adds something to the game. It's just Dumfries Curling on Facebook. Shaking his head. I think more of them should be strapped.
I decline to become involved in trashy comments from people in the West.
The West.
I decline to
speaking about anyone in particular there.
So
Last stone.
trashy comments.
Just looking to draw. A bit surprised we're on the open side, but I'm sure Hannah has her reasons for that.
So brave shot.
Last stone.
Brave shot. Brave shot.
I think they're okay for line. It's just weight now.
Brave shot. I think they're short.
I think they are short, John.
Brave shot.
Something won. Now who was shot
Brave
across
shot.
that? I think they're okay for line. It's just weight now.
Brave shot. I think they're short.
I think they are short.
That was
John.
bad.
We're certainly going down.
That was bad.
Shot across that. So I think what we can say is Lorna hasn't lost the game as it stands.
Bad.
We're certainly going down.
That
So
bad.
at the moment it was 1 blue, which ties the game up. So I think what we can say measure to see if they've won the game. As it stands. So at the moment it was 1 blue, which ties the game up. That's a measure to see if they've won the game. I'm not even going to ask you where your money is on this one, John, because it's.
I think it's a yellow.
There's your close-up.
I think that it's a yellow.
I'm not even going to ask you where your money is on this one, John, because it's.
I think it's a yellow.
It looks yellow from there, doesn't
I
it?
think that it's a yellow.
I'm not even going to ask you where your money is on this one, John, because it's.
I think it's a yellow.
It looks yellow from there, doesn't
I
it?
think that it's a yellow. I'm not sure when the sweepers actually started to sweep, whether or not they were sweeping from
I think they were
soon
line
after
in.
it played, or whether
See if
they
we can get a
left it
preview here,
run.
John.
I'm not sure when
Pat Eddington doing the measure, I
the
think.
sweepers actually started to sweep, whether or not they were sweeping from
I think they were
soon
line
after
in.
it played, or whether
See if we
they
can get a
left it.
preview. Looks
run.
yellow. Looks yellow.
Pat
Eddington doing the measure, I think.
Extra end.
Agreed yellow, extra end. We're not going home yet, John. We're getting
Still
into.
got to go home, peel the tatties.
I was
do
just
the
thinking.
carrots.
I was just thinking we're getting into the busy time for takeaways tonight, but
Still got to go home, peel the tatties.
just thinking. I was just thinking we're getting into the
Been-
busy time for
this has been
takeaways
going
now,
on for-
but,
When do we start? 3 o'clock? Still got to go home, peel the taps.
started this game at 3 o'clock.
Aye.
Mm.
This has been going on long time.
Even longer since first game at 10.
When do we start? 3 o'clock? True.
Started this game at 3 o'clock.
Aye.
To be fair, I think this game's gone
Long
by
time.
fairly quickly for me. I have to say, I've quite enjoyed this game. It's been good to watch, some good
True.
scores.
Very involved.
To be fair, I think it's
So-
always
so-
good to watch when teams are trading threes.
So here we are in the extra end. Very involved. Hannah Fleming has the hammer again. She could have tied it up there. End. Just a bit loose weight, but we've seen that with Hannah before during this competition. Just a bit loose weight, but we've seen that with Hannah before during. So looking for a tech shot here again.
Yeah, we're going to get 4 tech shots in a game, John. I've not seen one all weekend so far. Assuming the next guard goes on, of course, but. Must be close. They're both saying no at the moment. Assuming the next guard. Both the skip and the vice say no, and the sweeper's going for it though. So yeah, it's a pretty nice result. Yeah, that's a good stone. Well played.
In fairness, the sweeper's no best,
Both the skip and the vice say no, and the sweeper's going for
contrary
it.
to what you skips think.
Don't brand me as a skip. Front end union all the way. I'm a lead.
Oh, right, okay. It's no best,
Well,
contrary to what you skips think.
it's the place I can do least damage in. Don't brand me as a skip. Front end union all
And
the
there's
way.
no pressure. Player shots, sweep.
Full
Player
pressure.
shots, sweep.
Yeah, but you then have to sweep all these skip stones, and you know you've done all the sweeping, and then they expect you
And
to
there's no
put it within
pressure.
an inch of where they
Player
want
shots,
it. 2 seconds later, so.
player shot. It's good cardiovascular.
You then have to sweep that's the one. So I think this is always interesting. When you go for the tick again, or just take one
It's
in the
good
house, and has
cardiovascular.
answered that nice and quickly. Play the tick again. So I think this is always interesting. When you go for the tick again, or just take one in the house, and has answered that nice and quickly. Play the tick again. Very quiet this time. I don't think it's quite got the weight, this one. Yeah, got it fairly full, put it through, so this time I'll go back the way. Nice and easy to spot that one.
We did exactly the same with the last game.
Got it fairly full, put it through. Yes, exactly the same. Yeah, make the first one and then just a wee touch too heavy on the. Nice and easy to spot that one.
We did exactly the same with the last game.
Yes, exactly the same. Yeah, make the first one and then just a wee touch too heavy on the. It's the hardest shot in the book though, John, isn't it? Same again.
Kiss of death.
Yeah, exactly. You make a really hard shot the first time, they never would expect you to make it the second time. They forget it's still a hard shot.
Kiss of death.
Yeah, exactly. You make a really hard shot.
So
the first
Lorna
time,
looking
they never would
to
expect you to make it the second
put
time.
another guard on.
They forget it's still a hard Get the guards going on now. So you can do this for a few stones in the knowledge that Hannah's going to try and peel the guards
So
off.
Lorna looking
To be fair, they're not sat in a bad
put
place
another
to
guard
peel
on?
them off, so keep the guards going on. Might see everything splatter all over the place now. A few stones in the knowledge that Hannah's going to try and peel the guards
So
off.
Lorna looking
To be fair, they're not sat in a bad
put
place to
another guard
peel
on?
them off, so might see everything splatter all over the place now.
Now, really what will happen here if it's the same as last time, did we get a jam this time, do we?
I think this is closer to lifting everything. Yeah, it has jammed.
No, but it's well out of the way though. It's the same as
You
last
say
time.
that,
Did
but
we
it
get a
has
jam
blocked
this
up one
time,
side, draw to the 4 foot, so there's still a bit of rubble. Would have preferred the shooter to roll away there.
but it's well out of the way though.
You say that, but it has blocked up one side.
And again, we've got that blue sitting away in to the left-hand side as we view it.
It's quite eerily similar, this
Aye.
deja vu.
And again, we've got that blue sitting away in really what you want is the tech shot to just play it through the ring and just sit in that wee bit between the outer circle and the
back corner.
back corner. Really, what you want is the
Technical
shot,
term
just
for that
play
corner?
through the ring and just sit in that wee back right hand corner or back left hand corner.
You had an opportunity to make up a name for that, John. Let it slip through your fingers.
Okay, we'll call it a BL or a BR. Corner or back left hand corner.
You had an opportunity. Hopefully we haven't come up with that, John. Dodgy for that, yeah.
Okay,
Back
we'll
to peeling
call it a
guards.
BL or a BR.
Again, they're sitting not too bad to have a cut across this one. Half stone. Try and get rid of everything. Maybe a wee touch high at the moment. Again, they're sitting not too bad. Not far about. Cut across this one. Just a bit high. Try and get rid of everything. Maybe a wee touch high at the moment.
So Lorna still got control of this
Just a
end.
bit high. Try and get rid of everything. Maybe a wee touch high at the moment.
On the stones anyway. Still got control of this end. On the stones anyway. Got control of this end. Looks a nice weight. Just needs to drag itself down. Even although Hannah keeps opening it up, you've still got to end up playing that last shot and getting it to where you want to. That's the main thing, isn't it?
No, absolutely.
Oh,
There you go. And the back one's gone as well.
Any chance of seeing that again, or
Every chance.
so? Especially for those who have taken the time to watch this game.
Bonus points on the stats for that, I think.
Lovely shot. Lovely shot. Altered the game.
Yep.
Altered the
Tidied
game.
that ends up really nicely. Just a wee apology to people who have been watching all day and been hearing echoes on commentary. It seems to be an intermittent issue, but we'll have a look at that tonight and see if we can tidy that up for tomorrow. Still a bit of a learning experience for us at Dumfries. We've just about got the last lot of equipment sorted, and we thought we'll try and upgrade it a wee touch, but we're doing it on the cheap. There's no expense being incurred, so we're just trying to get things like replays involved. It may have given us a few sound problems, but as I say, we'll try and get them sorted for tomorrow. At least we've got pictures.
And not only that, they're moving pictures.
Exactly. This looks pretty close.
Has she got the
as well.
double?
Just
No.
misses the double, but rolls out, which is fine.
And you don't need to log in through various websites or
Nope,
need
entirely.
passports or passwords or out like that. So
Entirely free to watch, which is hopefully how we'll keep it. That was one of the things we decided fairly early on, that we didn't want to lock it down to anybody, and we also thought if there's no passwords and payments, then nobody can complain either, so that's where we're get out of jail free card. But seriously, if anybody does have any constructive criticism or any way you think that we can make it better, just Facebook, Scottish Curling Forum, wherever, just we'll try and pick them up from somewhere. We'll take everything on board.
even more importantly, if you want to come along and do some commentary and become involved in that, we'd be very glad to see you come along.
Absolutely. We're hopefully, we should be broadcasting the men's qualifiers are at Dumfries this year as well, so Anybody who fancies go at commentating or playing around with the behind the scenes stuff, just let us know.
So Hannah trying to work out how she's going to get the double here.
John's phone's ringing at the appropriate time. So Hannah out the hack, playing a full weight takeout. You're looking for the double. It's close. It's made it. Great shot. Great judgment from both players. Called the sweepers on and off. Tidies up the end again. Doesn't give Lorna an awful lot of options now, even hung the shooter around, so. And make Hannah Fleming strong favourite now to win this from here.
That was a fantastic shot there, wasn't it?
It was a great shot.
Especially under the pressure, and to get her own one to lie there.
I was just saying that that's even better. It might well take a bit of pressure off the last stone.
Well, she doesn't have to worry. All she needs to do is burn theirs.
Exactly that. So we'll see where Lorna puts this one. Wee bit of indecision about the ice, taking it back in and out a wee touch.
What's Lorna trying to do?
I think going round the yellow, I think, was the call. It is. Sarah Reid standing, holding the brush there. Don't think she obviously don't indicate handles particularly much, so picked.
I can't believe that after what we said before.
You're going to get pelters for that, John.
So I can't believe that.
Handshakes offer. That's an unfortunate way to end that.
I can't believe that. Let the lassie take the shot again.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way.
All right, okay.
So a win for Lorna Weavers there. We will be back tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, John.
Will you?
Will I? Somebody better turn up. Somebody will be here at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. No idea what game we're covering. I haven't seen the draw yet, so we'll pick a game depending on standings tomorrow. So hopefully you can join us then.
Get my stopwatch.
John's putting his stopwatch away. So that's everything from Dumfries for tonight. Again, just a reminder, all the games are on YouTube if you want to see them again. It's youtube.com/Dumfries Curling. Give it a like to subscribe. That'll help us a great deal. And we'll see you tomorrow morning.